I got a special friend here tonight. Get up with me. Mr. Tyrese Hall. Y'all give me a call. Oh, I feel good in it. Come on. Let me go ahead. I know a man from Galilee. If you listen, he'll set you free. This man came down 42 generations. That ain't all. This man woke me up this morning. Do I have a witness? Started me on my way. I don't know what it is to you, but I'm talking about me when I tell you, he's alright. He's alright with me. Tell your man he's alright. He's alright with me. Clap those hands. He's alright. He's alright with me. He's alright. He's alright. Put your hands on it. I want y'all to open your mouth loud and make some noise for Tyrese. Say, Tyrese. I remember when I was sick, and it felt like I wouldn't get well. But there ain't nothing that my God cannot do. I'm here today as a living testimony that God will be on time. I don't know what he is to you, but I want you to know what he is to me. Tell him he's alright. He's alright with me. Oh, he's alright. He's alright with me. Let me see you just wave your hand if you know he's alright with me. Good God Almighty, he's alright with me. If you know he's alright in here, everybody out there, if you showed up know God is alright, I wanna hear you, let me hear you say. Burden getting heavy sometimes, can't find peace of mind. Go down on your knees, say Lord have mercy please. Burden getting heavy sometimes, can't find peace of mind. Yes. Go down on your knees, say Lord have mercy. Tell him that he's alright. He's alright. Anybody know that he's alright? He's alright. If you know that he's alright, he's alright. Just wave your hand. He's alright. Bread when I'm hungry. He's alright. Water when I'm thirsty. He's alright. Rock in the weary land. Shelter in a time of the storm. He's alright. Then tell me, he's the King of Kings. He's alright. Lord of Lords. He's alright. Alpha and Omega. He's alright. Beginning and the end. The first and the last. He's alright. Then tell me, he's the same man that walked on the water. He's the same man went to a wedding one night, turned the water into wine. He's the same man got took 2 fish, 5 loaves of bread. lawyer in the courtroom. Does anybody here know it? He's all right every second, every minute, every hour, every day, every week, every month, every year. On a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, whenever I ain't got no money in my pocket, he made a way, he made a way, he made a way. If I'm blind, I can't see. If I'm crippled, I can't walk. If I'm crippled, I can't walk. If I'm crippled, I can't walk. He's all right. All right. Good God. Does anybody know he's all right? I want to ask all the questions here. Won't he make a way for you? Won't he make a way for you? Won't he make a way for you? Let me hear you say yeah. 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 I got one more thing I want to say. I can't see him. I can't touch him. But every now and again, I can feel him. I can feel him. Feel him. I can feel him. Feel him in my hands, in my feet. I can feel him moving. Anybody here know it? Does anybody here know it? Clothes on my back, shoes on my feet. Does anybody here know it? He's all right. Good God, I said he's all right. Good God, I said he's all right. Clap your hands if you know it. Clap your hands if you know it. Clap your hands if you know it. Wow. He's all right. Y'all give Tyrese all a hand.
Y'all, it's your man, Mr. Savoir Fair, the DL Marshall, and I want you guys to make sure that wherever you go, you have a peaceful relaxation and rest. I want you to be able to go somewhere that you feel comfortable to use the restroom. I want you to feel comfortable kicking off your shoes and walking across the carpet in your room. I want it to be able to smell lemony fresh, like Fabuloso when you first walk in. I want you to feel safe to leave your car parked in the parking lot. And I want you to feel that way by calling my friends over at Hotel Wiz. That's right, Hotel Wiz, 1-800-619-8917. That's Hotel Wiz, 1-800-619-8917. Tell them you heard it on DL's Backstage Pass. Hotel Wiz, the most comfortable stay you'll stay anywhere. All right, welcome back to the realest gospel show, giving you the hottest music or music videos, interviews, talk of topics this side of heaven, and all the funny you can handle. Shout out to my man, Earl Belton. Go ahead, Earl, put in your magazine, the name of your magazine and your podcast in the comments. Kiki Boykin. Kiki said he want to be like me when he grow up. Kind of too late, Kiki. Hey, let's welcome back none other with me, the Curve Effect. What's up, Tammy?
Hey, what's up?
Want to say hello to BJ Deffenbaugh out of Oklahoma, and thank you for joining us. I hope you got a chance to check out the my comedy special, The DL Marshall, A Gentleman at the Gym, and I hope you enjoyed it. Tammy, what you think about the gospel lessons featuring Tyrese Hall?
Oh, that was great. I loved it.
Yeah,
when it's over, you sweating and everything. You got to sit down and fan yourself, like, woo.
you ain't got a chance to enjoy it until you seen them live. We're gonna have to go next time that I do a live show at one of the quartet events. You're gonna have to get a chance to see that because yeah, we have a tetting good time.
Yeah, absolutely. I can see that.
Yeah, we have a tetting good time. Well, Tammy, you kind of helped us with this one, so we ain't gonna make the people wait no longer for their fastly favorite segment, infamous segment of
Dang, DL.
And so in our one of our little chatting powwows, Tammy said, "What do you think about talking about the village? Does it really take a village to raise a child? And does the children really want to be a part of the village? And does the village want your child in it?"
Dang, DL.
And the reason why we're asking a multiplicity of these questions inside this topic is because the way we interact in the Black community and in the church body, it's almost as it's me against y'all or us against them. And I was talking to Tammy about one of my trips to a place. And while in this place, one of the younger villagers, we'll call them, happened to be working the register on her phone. And, I'm like, okay, all right. So I'll set my stuff on the conveyor belt to let her know I'm here. And she did not look up. She continued looking in that phone, and the fingers is moving on the board. And I'm standing there, and then she put the phone down and pushed the belt just a little bit. And I guess the person she was texting responded faster than she thought. She stopped, picked the phone back up, and finished texting before she even said, "Hello, sir, how you doing?" Or her job, which is ringing up the merchandise. Why do you feel as though courteousness is no longer a fiber in the community that is the backside of millennial to the front side of zennial? Why is rudeness a thing of now? Is it the current? Did we get tainted by the first move of TRUMP? And now it's resurfaced for his second tour through the White House. Now maybe people feel bolder to do and say what it is they really felt to say. But then I thought about it. But we're not talking about him and them. We're talking about us's. We're talking about the FUBU effect. For us, by us. Why, y'all, is it so prevalent that we just don't give a doggone about each other?
Dang, DL.
Or is it not that we don't care about each other? It's just we gonna make sure that I gotta get mine before you get yours. Is the level selfishness? Is the level rudeness? Is the level discourteous? Is the level? What is the level? Y'all let us know in the comments. Has the village failed the children, or is it just the children don't want to listen to the village? What happened to it takes a village to raise a child? Tell me what you say.
Ooh, it's a lot to go into that, but I just remember back in the day, I could not go outside and do something wrong without my neighbor getting on me.
Yeah.
And then taking me to my mama,
Yeah.
And it was all just everybody cared about everybody. Everyone cared about each other's children, and some kind of way that went away. And it's now, and what made me think about this subject is because kids outside in front of my by my car, actually, that's outside, And then you got the adults, they over there, the kids out there around my car. And I'm like, please get away from y'all. Stop playing around my car, please. But they around my car, nobody's saying anything, right? And then I wanted to, but then I stepped back because I didn't know how these parents was going to react to me saying something to their children, because the parents standing right there watching these kids. I'm sitting here and I'm like, now I don't want to have an altercation with these parents, because if they thinking it's okay for me to say something to them, now it might turn into something totally different. Now it's a lot of times for me, it's fear. And I think for a lot of people in our generation, if we're not addressing the children, it's because we don't want to have to deal with any type of repercussions from the parents. We don't know where their head is at. It's like it has deteriorated generation by generation to now we're at almost nothing.
Let me touch on a few things that you brought up. But prior, let's go into the comments. Eric Belton said it takes a village, yes, but these young people think they know everything, and we've been taught to hate, and it's easy to hate than come together. BJ said, wow, takes a village to raise a child. Nowadays, some of these here parents, you can tell she from a southern region, some of these here parents doesn't want you to say anything to their children. So, exactly. And I was going to say that when you said when we were growing up, 70s kids, 80, like beginning of 80s, you realize that you couldn't do certain things whether your parents were around or not, because the village had watchmen and watchwomen. Mm-hmm. So just the parent respected their supervision, because those very same people that kept you in line, they fed you. Those very same people that kept you in line, you could come in their house, get a cool drink, you could cool off. So they were supervising you from dangers that you may not have been aware could be a possibility. Somewhere down the line, parents stopped valuing the help they were getting, but started to complain more. I ain't got no help with these kids. I'm doing it all by myself. But you have made your help the villain. You've made the village the enemy. And so now you have secluded yourself and made yourself an island, which we know the Bible tells us no man is an island. That's how you become deserted, when you are solo. And we, there's nothing dangerous than a parent that would say, my child would never do that. Your child would never do that possibly in front of you, but your child will do that.
Dang, DL.
So you're looking at a way of making your children say, my mother will believe me in my wrong over someone that is telling her right. So now it's the me and you against everybody else. So when someone tries to step in and help you with the kid, the child sees that mama, and generally we know that's the one that it is. Sorry, ladies. Sorry, mothers. But if you get onto a boy or a girl, but as long as you ain't really with a man's daughter, as long as you ain't cussing at her. But most fathers would say, oh, what's going on? And well, little Johnny over here chunking rocks. And I told him to stop. I didn't want him to break my car windows or nobody else's. And when I told him to stop, he told me to shut up and mind my own business. Oh, so that's what we doing? A mother? Well, I don't like the way you talking to him, whether he did it or not. You come find me. Well, it's gonna be 8 hours before I can say something to you. My windows and everybody on the block's window gonna be broke by the time we can talk to you. But you let something of danger come about and you don't say nothing. Well, why wouldn't you? You just gonna sit there and watch my baby get, so we can't have it both ways. So in the comments, we're questioning if it takes a village to raise a child. What's going on in the village? Is the village not caring about the kids? Are the village afraid of the kids? Or do the kids no longer want to be a part of the village? Go ahead, Tammy. You continue.
Yeah, I think also when someone has said something to or comes to you as a parent about your child, the parent tends to get embarrassed and then they get
Yeah,
defensive. And then they get
good point.
defensive, so now they're embarrassed their child out here acting a fool. And we come to you with how your child is acting and you're embarrassed. So now you defensive, and you, instead of saying thank you for bringing this to me, I'm sorry, da da da, and then getting on the child so that the child will see I'm not supposed to act this way. They go off on the person that's bringing it to their attention, and so now the kid feels empowered to continue to do whatever it is they were doing, because you go tell my mama she ain't gonna do nothing anyways. I've heard people say that they've heard that. You can tell she ain't gonna do nothing, and that is where the problem comes in. Now how we got to that point, from when we was growing up to how we got to that point, this point now, I don't know, but I think the village is no longer a village. I don't know what it is.
Well, and I'm going to agree with a village is no longer a village, and then I'm going to give an explanation as to why I say that. Hey, Z Smith is backstage. She's used her backstage pass again. Let's get into. I want to say let's see if we can. Anton, pull up. So okay, so now this is BJ now. So now they show out because they know the parents got their back. That's definitely
Exactly.
one. I agree with BJ. Man, y'all really got the comments going. Thank y'all so much. A lot of people don't want their parenting corrected. Amen. Amen.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
of the hardest things to do is to not believe that you have a deficiency or room to improve. And most human beings feel as though I got this, I got this, I got this, when really they know they don't. And the more they say I got this is them trying to reassure themselves or prove to themselves that they do have it, when all along they know they're drowning in issues. They need help, but if I ask for help, it's a sign of weakness. Well, you're only weak till you get the help. And now that you know how not to need help like that anymore, you become strong. When I'm weak, therefore I'm strong. Why? Because we stop relying on our power, we rely on God. And now God is putting in place people that can aid you and help you, and you don't even want to go for it. The biggest power play that a child can have against the village, whether the village is mom, dad, auntie, grandma, grandpa, or neighbors, the biggest power that a child has against that village is the power of manipulation. And like someone said, when you know your mother, your father is going to have your back, whether right or wrong, that's a dangerous situation.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you get into a place where your child is incarcerated or, God forbid, fatally in the ground,
Mm-hmm.
now you want us to band together with you shoulder to shoulder, burning candles or holding signs free and free junior. And we're not going to do that if, when we were trying to give you the wherewithal to keep Junior out the ground or keep Junior out the jail cell, you didn't want to listen.
Mm-hmm.
This is prevalent through school classrooms and hallways all over America. I literally, when I was a parent liaison, witnessed a little fella call a teacher, a white teacher, the B word. The mother came up there, and the way she was dressed, let's just say she told me she was coming, she finna act a fool. And she went off. Y'all ain't finna suspend my kid, and y'all got me coming up here, and da 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 da, and lee and tweedle long. No, we ain't got you coming up here. Your little darling got you coming up here. Do you realize that your little darling just called this grown woman the B word? The very same word that you and his daddy breaking up dishes because daddy called you.
Dang, DL.
So now it's okay for your little darling to call this woman the B word, and well, what did she say to him? Are you kidding me, ma'am, right now? Is there anything that your fourth grader could have said to them for your fourth grader to respond with that word? I just don't get it. So now that we know,
Dang, DL.
now that we know what the issue is, how do we forge a resolution? How do we get a resolve? How do we put forth motion for change? Because when we were coming up, all the 70 kids, every parent that I can remember on my block, every parent could fight. So getting beat up wasn't a concern by your, because I remember my dad was like, okay, now after I spank him, I'll be ready to see your daddy too. So, and the other fathers felt that same way. My daddy wasn't worried about the kapow, pow, bang, bang of a water gun. Because every daddy on the block had one too. So we just, I think we've softened up and we've shown the village kids that the villagers are afraid. And you cannot rule under fear. That's how you control. So I believe a good, healthy dose of fear in those village kids help corrects the village kids. If you think that somebody's knuckles and the back part of their hand gonna hit your mouth if you get smart and get to talking back, then you ain't gonna talk back. If you think something gonna come across your head for talking smart, you ain't gonna talk smart. But shoot, half these little village kids is talking to the parents crazy. So they ain't gonna respect the village.
Right.
Hey, Trina. Hey, Janie. Earl says schools are out of control by these bad kids, and the teachers can't teach because they are truly out of control. What's going on? What are we talking about today? Well, Janie, we talking about these bad kids. No, actually, we talking about, has the village failed the kids, or do the kids just don't want to be a part of the village? That's why they don't listen. Bro, I got a lot of backhands from my man. Listen, I got backhands, front hands, open hands, shook. I got wiffle ball bats. I got broomsticks. I got Hot Wheel tracks. I got lampshades. I got, well, thank God I didn't get the stenching card. But yeah, I got a whole lot of discipline. And guess what? Ain't never spent no time nowhere.
Janie made a point. She says the parents are not parents anymore. They're friends with their kids. And I agree with that. And that's the problem. You know, I'm friends with my kids now, but my kids are over 30 years old. But when they were kids, they weren't my friends.
Wait a minute. You got kids that are in their 30s,
Oh, very much. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
All right, y'all. Well, thank y'all so much for today's input in our Daaang DL topic. And oh man, this was a good one. Keep the chat going, keep the comments going, and we'll revisit that. But this has been another dynamic, infamous segment of
Dang, DL.
All right. So what we gonna do now?